Hey y'all, APG Jamie here, and today we are going to work on a fine arts piece. It's going to be an abstractish piece on wedge canvases. Got two different size wedge canvases. I picked these up at Michael's a couple of years ago when they had the wedge canvases, and yeah, I picked them up and I've not used them, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, it's time to use a couple of them. So I'm going to start off with this here stencil. I do believe it's a stencil girl, y'all. And I was going to put my my modeling paste on there, and then I thought, no, you silly person, you're already starting off on the wrong foot. Let's put some color on there first. So we're going to use our unbleached titanium. I have no idea how long I actually worked on this project because it was over a couple of weeks time period. You know, there's a lot of drying, yada yada yada, normal stuff. So yeah, putting on some unbleached titanium, and then we're going to do our modeling paste. And I think, oh, there's a list of ingredients in the description box below because I may or may not remember the specific colors and product and whatnottage kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm thinking about writing a little poem booklet to go with this one. So, or not. One just never knows about me, including myself. I just never know. And crossing fingers, y'all, that this is gonna work. Oh, I decided I wanted to put some more texture on there. I know, as if this stencil isn't enough texture. I'm looking for some cheesecloth, and I found it. And here we go. I'm just gonna smoosh it sort of down on there. Well, I tried smoothing it over, but that didn't work. So now I'm just gonna smoosh it down with my little squeegee tool thingamajiggy. I like it. I like it a lot. Love that texture, y'all. I'm just scraping off a little bit of the excess modeling paste on the outside of my finger. Oh, just luscious texture, y'all. And I'm going to do both wedge canvases essentially the same. Like I said, they are different lengths. They are the same width. Well, in this case, they're the same width. Yeah. And no, I don't remember off the top of my head because it's been a couple days since I, edited this. And we're going to do the same on the shorter one, which is probably more of a square. It looks like it's more of a square, y'all. So we're going to do that over there. And instead of using the cheesecloth on this side, I use a stiff paintbrush and brush down it or up it, whichever way I go, and wiping off just a little bit of the excess modeling paste on that there napkin back. You know, when you peel your napkins, you got napkin backs. I use those, and there was something in there. I don't know what. Who knows what it was? Could have been anything. Oh, just luscious. You know, that'd probably been perfect just like that. Why didn't I leave it just like that instead of just keep on and keep on it? I don't know. We've already saw the thumbnail, so you kind of know what it looks like. And I have fixed it so that it will hang on the wall. But as I sit here doing this voiceover with my piece laying horizontal on my the little console table we have underneath the television set, I love how it looks sitting there like that. It's kind of folded just ever so slightly. It looks pretty stinking cool. Oh my goodness, text message, y'all. Why do these people wait for me to do voiceovers before they decide? Oh no, let's just page APG now, or mom, depending on who, case may be. So I've had this theme for turquoise. Maybe y'all noticed, maybe you didn't. So we used some glazing medium and a little bit of turquoise paint and a little more glazing medium and just a ditto dot of white just because I want to make it just a little more paler. And look how translucent that is, y'all. It is barely putting any color on there, which is what I was looking for. Okay, so we are going with a pale piece. Well, it's sort of palish. Oh, and I am multitasking, so if you hear timer, which I forgot to set my timer, somebody help me remember. I need to switch the laundry in a little bit because I'm multitasking and doing the laundries at the same time. Okay. So, grab any other piece. We're essentially going to be treating them the same, y'all, because it is a I don't know what you call this piece. They go together. They are actually, the canvases are actually affixed together. And I did not film that part on account of I was ad-libbing it because I didn't know if it was going to work or not. And it worked. And I think I'm happy with it. But I really do kind of like it sitting there on the table like that too. Just saying. I should take a picture of it so then after I post the video, then y'all can see the picture of it sitting on the table like that. Because it's an interesting piece, y'all. Not like my 2x4 interesting piece, which is called interesting. But, you know. You think? That's the name of this one. You think? Now I'm going over it with some gloss gel medium, because I want to fill in the crevices a little bit, and not much, just a little. And of course this adds just a little bit more texture because I end up putting brush marks in there. That's just a reminder, it's not a separate text message, y'all. I apologize. I know how disruptive it is for y'all to hear these kind of things on my professional type of videos. I'm just so professional and all. Oh, bless my heart. So, yeah. Oh, I got a reminder too. Let's see, what is that all about? Oh, it's telling me to do a voiceover. That's a good thing I'm doing that, isn't it? So, how's everyone doing? Now I'm going to add some drippage. Now this is not your typical drippage because I didn't want it watery drippage. Okay, I wanted more opaque or even. So I've got, I think I used gel medium in there, and you know, my paint and whatever I put in there. Y'all was watching, right? And I smooshed it all up, and it's fairly thick. And I'm just smooshing it on there in big globules and then tamping it real hard on my desk. And y'all, it looked really good after this step too, after I did both sides, and I thought, oh, you know, I like that just like that. I don't know why I didn't leave it just like that, because I liked it just like that really well. It was pretty. Pretty. So we're gonna do that, and we do that on both sides. And I'm gonna put one thicker side next to the skinnier, thinner side. Depth, yeah. Because that's how I wanted it, y'all. Now this white gets bubbles in it, and I'm really not quite so sure why I got bubbles in it, but it got some bubbles in it, and then when it dried, those little bubbles was popped. And that's okay. Just more texture. Look how hard I'm tamping it pretty hard, y'all. That's fairly thick. I mean, it's heavier than heavy cream, I think. Probably about a medium weight gravy, if we're gonna call it a food product. Don't eat it. No, don't eat it. So anyway, the video is like under 17 minutes. And like I said, I worked on this for a series of a couple of weeks. You see, I'm just trying to pop some of them bubbles. Oh, it's so cool. Look how cool that is. See how cool that is? That's pretty cool, y'all. Pretty nifty. if I do say so myself. So now we can put some gold on it. I'm working in a color scheme that I was inspired to try a couple of years ago. I actually took a picture of, I think it was a piece of paper somewhere. I don't remember, y'all. Don't remember. And I thought, yeah, I like those colors. So we're finally getting around to that. And this is a border mask stencil-y thing I made quite some time ago. And if I remember, y'all know that's a hit and miss on that. If I remember, I will link to it in the upper right hand corner and in the description box below of the video where I made the little mask stencil thing. Yeah. And now we're going to use fiber paste. I'm going for different types of testers. And this, my fiber paste is getting a little older, so I need to hurry up and use the rest of it. It's getting a little wee bit little thick. I should probably store it, put it in a Ziploc bag as well as the saran wrap on top. Just a future note to self, perhaps if we ever watch this again. Or to you, if you're using something, a product that you don't use real often, but you do use it and you want to hang on to it, you don't want to waste it, I would suggest storing it in a Ziploc bag, and also in a storage facility that the weather is pretty well, you know, the temperature's kept pretty constant, not necessarily like in my studio where if it gets 109 degrees outside in the summertime in August, y'all, like it does in my neck of the woods, and then it goes down to, you know, below freezing like it does sometimes in the wintertime around here. That's my studio, you know, it's not kept at a consistent temperature. Because if I'm not out there, I'm not turning on the heater and I'm not turning on the air conditioner, just because, you know, I'm kind of frugal that way. You know, I have to shop with my boyfriend Clarence. So, anywho, just smoothing down some of those little sticky uppy parts. Now, once this gets really good and dry, I mean, I think I let this one dry over weekend, okay? I hit it very, very lightly with this, my, you know, foam sanding block thing just to knock down the sharp edges. So I'm going after texture. I'm keeping the texture, but I knock down the sharp edges. And I'm smooshing it all up there on the top like that because I want the texture to roll over. This is just so flipping cool, y'all. It doesn't photograph worth a poop. Did not photograph worth a poop, but looks cool in people. In people, it looks cooler in person. So now I'm going to use that portrait pink, and I remember that's called portrait pink because I just remember that. And I'm going to end up doing 2 coats of that, but I don't show y'all doing all that part. And that gold and that white trippage, y'all. Nice. It dries darker. This portrait pink dries darker. It probably would have been perfect if it had dried it the same color, but it didn't. It darkened up a wee bit. Not a lot bit, just a wee bit. Oh, sorry. Banging the microphone. Sorry. There is a short photo montage because this was kind of hard to photograph. And like I said, the photographs aren't so good either. They just doesn't, sometimes pieces don't photograph very well and they look better in person, and sometimes pieces look way better in a photograph. I know. I've had some pieces that look real good in photographs, but look, it's good. See how much darker that dried? That second coat did it, I guess. So now we're going to put on some more of the turquoisey, aqua, whatever that color is listed in the ingredients below. I left autofocus on for a little bit. I apologize. Y'all know it happens because we just get anxious to get going sometimes and we forget to turn autofocus off. And that's the way it goes. So I'm going to be painting this color on, and I'm using a small brush because I have some small narrow areas, and I want it to, it's not going to look like drippage, okay? You can already tell it does not look like drippage, but I wanted to give that sort of essence. It's an essence of drippage, y'all. Oh, I like these colors. They are very soothing, and yeah. That's Champ. He just sighed too. And I'm going to leave that top part, the flat part, the portrait pink color. See that part up there? I don't know if you can see it. Probably can't see it. Now you can see it. Oh, so cool, y'all. You just want to touch it, but don't. Make sure your hands is clean. Hands is clean. And now we're putting on varnish, because the video of where I was putting on satin varnish on the turquoise and portrait paint colors up there on that part, I used a satin up there, and this down here on the bottom is a gloss varnish. Even though in real life you can't quite tell the difference. Oh, photo montage! See how I have the pieces are stuck sort of together but not stuck together? Oh yeah, I can't explain it. And I try to get different angles of it, y'all, and it's hard to do that when you're on the floor and it's hanging up just a little too high. But so it goes. See, they're connected, but they're not connected. You know, yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and happy art, y'all.